All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning, and hopefully you guys had an incredible day yesterday. We got a special guest here today as we are celebrating Halloween. Let's knock on the door and see who it is here. All right, let's go ahead.
Hello. It is I. I am faster than a speeding low float, able to leap tall charts in a single bound. It is I, Super Trader. Hello. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Thought I'd join you
That
here
is
today.
awesome.
Look at that. I even got like all the muscles, the Andrew muscles going here. It's
Yeah. You got the Andrew tattoo going under the costume there.
Yeah, I'll have to add that to my outfit. I am sitting on my cape.
Yeah.
No capes.
Yeah.
But I know that movie. Anyways.
Looking good, man. Looking good.
All right,
Super Trade with us
I'm
this
ready
morning.
for the trading day and my alter ego. Very
Awesome.
involved costume, you can tell. I can't see anything. I better do that. All right, here I am.
There you go. Friends, quick look at our gappers list, and we'll look at our U.S. economic calendar. Man, so much going on. The fun continues
much.
as we see here. I mean, it is just wild. Our gappers list right now, a bunch of stuff left and right of the field here. So we'll dive into all those. We'll do the same thing we've been doing, going over the top 5 because there's just so many to go over. And then we'll look at sectors like obviously travel today, or at least carriers, not carriers. What's these things called that people get on and they go have fun underwater? Ships. No, not cruise ships. There you go. I've never been on one, but these cruise ships are a little bit today.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're here this morning and gapping down. We got a bunch of stocks that we love to look at. We got Coin, we got Lyft, we got POTR, Ride, Uber. I mean, so much going on. Plus earnings. I'm sure Peter's going to bring you through some of that. All right. So Peter, excuse me, not Peter. Super Trader. What's the latest and greatest on the U.S. economic calendar?
All right. As you said, a whole lot of numbers happening this morning. So as we said, been building all week, and we're building towards the end of this week. Today is probably the big day. Big day for earnings, big day for the economic calendar. Let's start with our numbers here. Initial jobless claims, lower than expected. 216,000 was the number that was delivered. So I guess that's good. Not as many people claiming unemployment. Continuing jobless claims also lower, not by much, but 1.86 million versus 1.89 million. So that's going down as well. Employment cost index lower, 0.8%. So that's a good number as well. So all of that translates into good news for the economy. The market doesn't always like that news as much, but so far I'm not seeing much of a reaction. We also had the PCE numbers, which arguably are as if not more impactful today. Those pretty much, they're probably the ones that are affecting the market, meaning they came on exactly on target. 0.2% for the regular PCE, 0.3% for the core. So no surprise there. And the market is not moving. Later this morning, the only other thing that we've got is the Chicago PMI, and that is coming up at 9:45 this morning, right after the open. And then that's it. Then we're free just to trade earnings, of which we have got a bucket load, man, a speeding train full of them. They are all, and a lot of the big ones. After the close yesterday, we had a whole bunch. We got a whole bunch more tomorrow, more after the close today. It's a busy way to close out the week. So that's good. It should be a lot of fun. We had some good trading opportunities yesterday. Looks like it's going to continue today. Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is you've got to figure out which one of these or which few of these to focus on, because you can't look at them all. There's just too much out there. So pick your targets. Don't be afraid. Yes, by picking something, you're ignoring something else. That's just the way it goes. Today's a day where you've got to be disciplined. So let's help you with that. Let's figure out what's moving. We're going to start with the gappers list, and then we will get into the earnings that may not be on the gappers that I want to talk to you about.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, sir. Let's take a look here. At our gappers list, on the
Mm.
gap upside of things, we look at the top five, and then we'll head down to what's gapping down. All right, AMIX this morning, so a big pop of 40%. This one does this a lot. We've seen it kind of pop up here, sell back down today. They went as high as 22, and in prior days they've been as high as 21, so right in this area. But they just sell down right after. Here, they're not waiting into the market open. They're selling down right back down now in the pre-market feeder. Not sure if there's any news on it. It's still up 35%. Hard to borrow, so we can't even short this thing. I really don't like it. It also is a low flow, as you would suspect. At what's the flow here? Checking. Wow, 648,000. So extremely low flow stock. Peter, latest and greatest, if anything, on this?
Yeah, this is one of the rare midweek biotech, although it's a medical equipment, not a drug developer. But they did have news that they've got a treatment involving their products that have very positive top line results. So that's why this is jumping because of those results. And like you said, don't love it. I mean, we have so much to look at. You know, we will not settle for anything other than beautiful looking trading stocks.
Yeah, I am
That'd
with
be
you
perfect.
on that one, sir.
Perfect or
Yeah,
nothing.
no, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. This is not it. We'll skip on this one. Let me go clear my list, by the way, there. Skip on that one. This one I do like. Roblox, RBLX. We are up 18.1 on this one, 1.3 million shares traded. So looking good this morning. Peter, latest and greatest on this, man. It started going at 8 o'clock. So I'm not sure earnings today or some kind of news. Definitely something happening.
Yep. Yeah, it's earnings on this. They not only had a good quarter, their Q3 results were good, but they say that in-game spending is going through the roof. Carlos, you know, you're my litmus test to this. You buying more stuff?
Yeah.
You buying skins
We
and
haven't bought
games and
no.
stuff?
We haven't bought no
Oh,
skins or characters or clothes. Clothes is the big thing for my daughters. Like to
okay.
buy the clothes of the character. We haven't bought anything in a very long time. So it ain't me, that's for sure.
It's
So
not
somebody else
you.
is upping
Okay.
them up.
Well,
Not this household.
someone else is
No.
doing it because apparently they say there's a huge boom in in-game spending. So, because of that, they've actually raised their full year forecast. So that's probably the key driver to the growth this morning. I mean, it's looking strong. Like I said, so many candidates out there. I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, on a normal day, I would say this would be on my list because it looks awesome. Look at the pre-market action. We got 1.5 million shares traded. It looks good, but is it good enough? Only you can be the judge.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like it this morning. It's going to be in play here for me. RBLX going to be first on the list. Heading down here, we have Carvana, CVNA. We haven't seen this one in quite some time. It's been moving higher ever since September. You can see here some really nice moves, but it hasn't really hit any of our triggers on our scanners. Today it is just barely getting above 200,000 shares traded. It is up 17%. So I suspect the volume is still going to be very light throughout the day. But man, this is a nice big gap up. So they're selling some cars here into the third quarter, fourth quarter. What's going on, Peter?
Yeah, earnings once again. Their earnings were okay. They weren't fantastic, but they really upped their earnings outlook. They said that car sales are accelerating, which I'm sort of surprised. I've noticed that car prices have been going down. As a guy who's been shopping for cars, I've been sort of noticing there. Whoa! There's a puppy here. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Is that
Sorry,
Robin?
I got distracted.
Does he have
This
the,
is
the
this is
Robin
No,
my super
costume on?
dog.
it's Super Pup.
Super dog. Hey, Chucks, how you doing? Yeah. Dur,
Oh
dur, dur,
man, it's
dur. Anyway,
awesome.
super dog has arrived. So Carvana has saying that the car sales are increasing, and they got a very bullish outlook for the rest of the year.
All right, there we go. I think secondary, guys, right? I think secondary. I mean, I don't like the volume right now. It could get better, but the gap up is pretty nice. Like even if you're sitting here thinking of profit taking, that can drop the stock. Or if the market really likes what they're hearing, you can get an aggressive move up here. So we'll see. I like where we're sitting there. We'll put it on the secondary list. Let's look at the fourth one from the top to bottom on the gap up. We are checking out MBLY. So it's Mobile Eye, and this thing is up 8.6, 848,000 shares traded. very choppy daily, so I don't like what I'm seeing there as far as the back and forth. So for the most part, that's not exciting. Any news, Peter? I mean, this is one that I don't think I ever traded. We talked about it before plenty of times, but not one that I have touched on as far as trade on. How about yourself?
Yeah, mumbly as I like to call it. No, I've never traded it. Have watched it a few times. They did have earnings. Looks like they beat bottom line, but missed on revenue. So a little bit of a mixed picture. Not a lot of analysts following it, so we don't get as much information on this as we do with some other stocks. But like I said, if it's not perfect, I don't think I'd pay attention to it. It's not perfect.
You are absolutely right, man. Today is one of those days where there's gonna be so much on here, and you have to be picky. You have to be picky. All right, let's take a look at IP this morning. So IP, we're up 7%, 240,000. Again, nice gap up, but another one that looks very crappy on the daily. I don't like the way the day looks here. Light on volume. Even the pre-market action, we're moving higher, but it's not really clean or explosive, or at least very active. Anything on this one, IP?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't like it. We'll move on to the next one, friends. Last one, one, two, three, four, five. That was the last one. We'll hop around here to cover some of the stuff that I know we're going to talk about. It's going to be CCL, NCLH, and also DJT. So let's take a look at CCL. The cruise ships here, Peter, are all gapping, or at least these two that we like to look at, NCLH and CCL. They're gapping up. NCLH 5% and CCL at 2.7. Volume is light. Is there anything happening in this sector that's causing this move up?
Sorry, dog kisses.
You okay?
Uh,
Uh, I just looked over. I see you slapping yourself. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on here?
no, I was
Kryptonite
Dog
got in the building
kisses.
or something?
They're his
I was rubbing
kryptonite.
the slime off. Yeah, that's
All right, here we
right.
go.
That's right. Yeah, it looks like it's Norwegian Cruise Lines. That's what I'm trying to say. NCLH, NCLH that had some earnings and they beat their numbers and lifted their full year guidance. So once again, the cruise sector seems to be very robust, very going very well. We heard earlier from some of the other cruise lines, Royal Caribbean earlier this week, and this time it's Norwegian's turn, and they are doing very well. And it seems like it's once again lifting this whole sector. So NCLH again has the catalyst, but it doesn't always trade the most volume. So to your point, Carlos, CCL often gets more volume than Norwegian, but they're the ones that are moving it.
Yeah, I see them on here again. Lighter volume at 536, and still have secondary. Like I like it, but it's I don't know. I want to leave space for some of the big ones that I know I'm going to like today. Especially they're going to be coming off the earnings that Peter's going to take you through in a couple of minutes here. Let's look at DJT. Obviously, this thing is going to be in play all the way into elections, and uh, so much behind it right? As you're learning more information. Like for example, if Trump does win, but then he pulls out his shares, like how does that work? That's going to drop the stock. Or if he does win and people feel that this thing's going to be his source of communication, what's going to happen there, right? So many things. And if he loses, clearly this thing is going down, right? It's dropping. Like cannot see this staying in play if he loses the election. So many variables. But regardless of that, going into next week, which is a big week for us here, it should be in play. It should be exciting. Right now, 10 million shares traded, up 5.3. The short, we only have 7,000 shares for sure. So that's not a whole lot. I think it's worth watching. I might not have it on my main list because it's very difficult to trade. We saw what happened to Andrew on this damn thing here. I mean, he lost quite a bit there. I love the recap thumbnail they did yesterday. If you haven't seen the recap, it's a nice recap over on YouTube about this trade and his loss there. Just kind of learning from the mistakes, right? And but yeah, you can see DJT. It's gonna be in place. It's gonna be difficult to trade. Treat this thing like a very, very risky low flow stock because that is exactly how it's trading. Although the float on this, just to let you guys know, it is 75 million. So it's not a low flow stock, but it is sure trading like one. So be cautious there. Peter, anything on DJT?
Have you? Not really. I mean, look, like we said, with the election coming, this is just going to be in play, and it's going to be crazy. I saw someone earlier that posted, the crazy chart. This one, everybody familiar with this chart? Someone
Oh
posted
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Said,
yeah.
here's the potential outcomes for DJT with the election results. This is the one of the favorite charts people like to put up, that somebody went analysis crazy, and like
Yeah.
there's just can't even see
I
the
can see the
chart for all the
trend.
trend lines. Yeah, I mean
I can see the
that pretty
trend
much
there. Yeah.
is what your those are your options for DJT. Like, this thing could do
Wow.
anything
Yeah.
at any time. It's just because there's so much speculation, right? That has nothing to do with the fundamentals of this company. So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
up in
Great,
the
great
air,
for
but it's in
scalping,
play.
quick in and out
It
entries. But even
Well, and
scalping,
if you
man, look what
want to
happened
know
to
the
Andrew with
risks
the
of
halt.
trading, sorry.
Yeah.
If you want to know the risks of trading
Yeah, go ahead,
something
go.
like DJT, just watch the summary of this show yesterday morning with Andrew's trading, right? Andrew was very open with it. He tried it. He got halted. Was that just yesterday, or was that 2 days ago? That was yesterday, right?
No, that was
Yesterday,
2
yes.
days ago.
No,
It was
the
2 days
confusion is
ago?
it was 2
All
days
right.
ago,
So,
but the recap
okay.
on YouTube came out yesterday. They posted the recap yesterday. So if you
Oh,
go to
maybe that's
YouTube, look
why.
at the recap, you'll see it on there with
Yeah.
I love the thumbnail he used on that. But yeah,
Yeah.
take a look at it.
Yeah, like it's as dangerous as any other low float out there. He got in, he got stuck in a halt, and basically it opened up $50,000 lower for him, and there's nothing he could do. Right, he had to get out. So it's one of those where now he takes big size, so he got hurt by that size. But it just shows that you've got to be very careful on anything that trades like a low float. And again, DJT is in that bucket. A lot of fun, potential for earnings, to make money, but also a potential for losses. So it's all about managing your risk. There you go. There's the thumbnail on it. So
There it is.
he
Love the
unfortunately
thumbnail.
served as a lesson for us all. So
Yeah.
beware.
So take a look at that, guys. And it's funny because something happened that normally I have not seen happen ever since I've seen a couple of halts, right? Usually when the first halt, it usually opens up higher when it's a halt on the way up. This time it opened lower, which I haven't seen in I can't remember when I've seen something like that. Second and third halts are a little bit different. There's more risk involved there, but just kind of shows you that anything is possible, that can happen in these things. So be very careful with that. In play today, I'll be watching it, guys, as it continues to move higher here, up 8%, up 7%, almost 11 million. But again, just got to be very, very careful. All right, this covers our gap up. Peter, I'm going to go to you. What do you like on the gap up this morning, or any earnings that are gapping up today?
Yeah, so a surprising number of things that are gapping down this morning, but a few things that are gapping up, not enough to get on our list, but had earnings and are moving higher. Let's start with Starbucks. SBUX, Starbucks. I have no idea why they're gapping up. To be honest, they should be well down. Low volume though this morning, so maybe that's why. Just because there's not enough volume, but they actually missed their numbers. Same store sales were down. And what's interesting to me about this one is that there's as much news about the fact that they are no longer going to be charging for non-dairy creamers in their drinks and their coffees. I guess if you ordered like almond milk or oat milk or whatever else, they charged extra for it. Apparently they're not going to be anymore. So there you go. But they'll be charging but not upcharging. I don't know what that means. Anyways, I don't know. I don't drink this stuff. I have no idea. Whatever. Anyway, that seems to be as big as news as their earnings. So that's what's happening on Starbucks. MasterCard had earnings like all the other credit companies. So that's MasterCard, beat their numbers. Again, you wouldn't expect much volume on that, and they're certainly living up to that. Comcast, CMCSA, one of the weird five letters, also beat their numbers, gapping up again in this sector, right? In the carriers, we've seen pretty much all of them have beat their numbers. This is the first one that has not said that they've increased their subscriber numbers. So they beat their numbers, but remember, all the others seem to be taking subscribers from each other or finding new ones, I guess. But anyways, Comcast didn't. I guess their business is slightly different. But anyways, apparently the Olympics from the summer is what helped this quarter quite significantly for them, and they are gapping up. Oh my God! Now he's barking at things. COP. That's one we don't normally look at. ConocoPhillips. ConocoPhillips is mixed picture, missed on revenue, but beat on earnings and gapping up. And then a couple that I want to talk to you guys about. Intel. Now, Intel is gapping up this morning, but keep in mind, they've got their earnings after the close today. So we've seen stuff going into their earnings, having moving well on the day of their earnings. So Intel could be in play. I don't love it, right? I mean, I always go to other of the semiconductors, but they could be in play. Philip Morris did have earnings, Altria, as they like to be called these days. That's their alter ego, Altria. Anyways, they are gapping up this morning. And last but not least, Peloton. See how many we've got? I mean, they're just all over the place. Peloton, interesting, had earnings. They beat their numbers, and they've got a new CEO coming on board. They're taking one of the senior executives from Ford. Ford apparently had a vice president of integrated services, whatever that meant. Apparently, he is now joining Peloton as their CEO. So there's a whole bunch of targets for you if you want that are gapping up. I've got an equal number gapping down, and probably the bigger numbers that are gapping down on the list. So we'll get to those in a minute.
Yep, absolutely, guys. Just a lot going on today. Let's head to the gap down. Let's do the top 5, and then we'll jump around and see some of the tickers that are on here. First one on deck is EL, and this is it's one that's been in play in the past, and they're gapping down quite a bit here. 23%, 1.2 million shares traded. The gapping down started this morning. Not a great trader, very light on volume. If there's any day that where they're going to be in play, it will be today. So I will definitely add them to your list if you like them. I like the gap down. How well they're going to trade, I am not sure. Worth putting on a secondary. But again, it's going to be a hit or miss. Peter, what's going on with EL this morning? Oh, Peter,
he had to
went away
fly
to
away.
check on it. What's going on?
He
has to fly away. Let's see if he comes back in as fast.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, we'll continue. Yeah, let me see. To the EL. What do we have here? Looks like
oh, he's back.
Earnings. That was fast.
Yeah. Sorry, had to fly away for a second. I flew back. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Oh, good. We're looking at EL, but I can see here they had earnings, and that did not go very well. As you're seeing there, usually the guidance, right? So that's not good, especially for Q2 2025. It's not looking good. Ooh,
they cut their dividend, and so that's bad news when they feel they have to cut their dividend. So quite significantly, actually. So
yeah,
that's the news.
Yep. So not good. I have them on a secondary, but again, it's a hit or miss with them. We'll have to see how that turns out. Let's look at Roku. We used to trade this a lot, so we have traded in the past plenty of times. Today they're sitting on here. They are down 50%, 471,000 shares traded. Man, if I knew I was not getting some really good heavy hitters that I want to have on list here, like Meta, Nvidia, and some other ones, I will put this on here. But I want to leave space for the good stuff. So on the fence, I love the gap down. Peter, any reason why they're gapping down this morning?
More earnings. They had a good quarter, but it's always about the outlook, right? And their fourth quarter outlook came in lower than analyst expectations, and that's what's pushing it down.
Yep. So there it is. There's Roku. We can always come back to it, but I'm going to keep it off the list for now. ENVX is also down here, 9.5, 2.8 million shares traded. We saw this down yesterday or up sometime this week, but it made our list here a couple of days ago. It trades horrible, man. That's the one thing with this stock, that it can gap up or down, but the intraday is so bad, lighter on volume, so I am not interested on all. So I'm going to skip on this one, Peter, unless you have something to add. Yeah, it is. Garbage truck for that bad boy.
There you go.
Nothing to see.
This is the typical news that we don't like. They have a secondary offering, so they're issuing another $100 million worth of shares, and that's secondary offerings aren't normally good to trade anyways.
Yeah, it's a horrible catalyst usually for day trading. Hood this morning, we are down 9.1, and I do see a couple of crypto coins tickers on here. We have Coin. I thought I saw Mara, but we have Coin. We have here it is, Riot. I thought I saw Mara, but I guess not. And Hood, usually typical Bitcoin plays. So you could pick your favorite out of all of those. Hood is not one that I like. But is there anything going on with Hood, Peter, besides just a possible crypto play here? Is there anything in the individual stock?
Well, it sounds like a broken record, but they are also earnings. They had earnings. Their Q3 numbers came out, and they weren't as good as expected. They have been issuing a lot of incentives. They've been trying to go for growth, and to attract new customers have been offering, I guess, a lot of incentives to join the platform, and apparently those have cost them. So especially on their bottom line, it's really affected. I mean, they had lowered revenue because they cut the revenue and the incentives, but it also meant lower earnings. So I guess they've achieved higher number of users, but it hasn't yet resulted in better financial results. So the analysts are a little disappointed in that, and that's the pretty decent gap down today. Hood is. I so much want Hood to trade well all the time. Like I used to watch it thinking today will be the day. It never was. So I have to admit I've sort of given up hope a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like it either. All right, last one from the top here from the gap down. Let's look at HRMY, which we know is going to suck. This stock doesn't trade very well. Big moves over the last couple of days. We can roll the truck on this thing as we go here. But for the most part, it is a horrible, horrible trading stock. So garbage for you, my friend. We'll leave that alone. Peter, it looks like earnings. Yes, earnings as well for this one.
Harmony. Yes, they did have earnings after the close yesterday. They also took the opportunity to issue a secondary. That's the first thing that I saw here. And again, secondary, is not whoa. Interestingly, they're $31 a share. So there you go. That's why the price is moving down towards it. 8 million shares at $31 a share. So there you
go. All right, there it is. Okay, excellent, friends. That is covering the top 5 on the gap down list. So let's jump around a little bit here. I do see some names that's worth mentioning. I have Uber and Microsoft. So let's talk about those, and then we'll get to Peter as far as earnings. So let's talk about Uber. Uber's on the gap down list. Ooh, 7 o'clock. Nice little drop here. We're down 7.5, 4.1 million shares traded. This is the stock I wish would trade well at the market open. Peter, what's driving our good buddy Uber? Well, maybe not so good, but what's driving Uber this morning?
The earnings for them as well. Very, very broken record here this morning. They had a good quarter, so their Q3 numbers came out. They beat expectations, both top and bottom line. However, their forward-looking bookings apparently is slowing. Now, I don't know what that means in Uber's case. Like, how many gross bookings do they have? But basically, the number of riders was lower and is expected to be lower going forward. That being said, the value per rider has actually gone up. So net, though, it means that their forward-looking guidance is slightly lower than analysts expected. It's not actually out of the analyst range, but it's the low end of the range. And because of that, I think it's pushing Uber down a little bit. This is probably short-term. Uber tends to bounce back fairly well from these things. But like we've been saying, right, if it's not perfect, you might not want to trade it. I don't know. It actually doesn't look bad. Again, on a normal day, on my list, easy. Today, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And even like this, like I see Uber have a great pre-market action and trade so bad in the intraday. So I liked on my secondary. We'll see how it looks. Maybe later in the day we can get something good at it and just kind of wait for the market open to settle down a little bit. All right, and then another one I want to go over here that is going to obviously sticking out is Microsoft, right? So Microsoft here down 3.8, 1.1 million shares traded. I do like this one. Looks like we had some activity last night as far as earnings go. Peter, what's the latest and greatest for Microsoft?
Yeah, they're one of the many that had earnings after the close yesterday. They are, look, I mean, they had a good quarter, so they beat their numbers top and bottom line. Revenue was higher than expected. Earnings came in. I mean, Microsoft's they're always making money, man. It seems to be easy for them nowadays. But it's their guidance that was lower than analysts expected. They, like so many, have been spending a lot in AI, and of course, in their analyst call, they talked a lot about AI. But they even said that they're seeing more demand than they can keep up with. So, they're in a good position. They have probably one of the largest captive corporate audiences that they're able to sell their AI to. So they're in a great position for it. However, that didn't translate to the guidance outlook that the analysts were expecting. And as such, Microsoft has moved down after hours, as you can see. And the analyst call didn't provide any comfort because they stuck on the same message, and they're continuing to pretty flat this morning. But at that lower level. So Microsoft never makes the top of my list, frankly. I keep an eye on it over here because, you know, what Microsoft does, a lot of, you know, companies follow, but I don't know. It's generally difficult to trade for whatever reason. Maybe we just don't get along. I don't know, but
Yeah, it could be. Could be. They'll be on my list today. Microsoft, I'm going to add them on here and we'll see how the market open treats these guys. All right, we'll stop here. Peter, what do you have on the gap down list as far as earnings or maybe stocks that you're watching that we have not covered yet?
yeah, there's a ton more, some of which just didn't quite, they're not over our 2% mark, like Meta. We got to talk about Meta. They were one of the big ones that had earnings after the close. They actually beat their numbers, so a good quarter. But as always, right, it's the forward-looking guidance that is a concern. In their case, it's actually not their earnings guidance. There's a concern that they're spending way too much on AI. They announced pretty significant AI spend going forward. And while they said they're expecting to keep to their previously released guidance, the market perception is it's not good enough. That they're spending more than their competitors, and they may be going in too deep here. So I don't know what to do. You know, like AI is like, it seems like you can't win, right? Either you're not spending enough or you're spending too much. Or anyways, in Meta's case, the concern is over how much they're spending. And I mean, they are pumping billions and billions of dollars here at AI. So, you know, it's there's a lot of money going into it. So, but anyways, Meta, to me, absolutely in play. One of the ones we've got to watch. It's in this great range on the daily. This could do anything, right? It could go higher at the open. It could go lower. Yeah, I think Meta's got to be one to keep an eye on. All right, others that are gapping down that we absolutely have to look at today. MSTR. It's been popular in the room. A lot of people watching MicroStrategy. So MSTR should be on the radar. They actually had a bad quarter, missed their numbers, and have announced that they are trying to. I love this. They've gone to the banks to try and raise another $42 billion of. I'll say this to anger all of the crypto traders out there. Real money, so that they can buy Bitcoin. So they're trying to raise real cash from the banks so they can go buy Bitcoin because they're all in, baby. Like they've decided they're going to try and be a crypto bank, and they think that the future is to the moon, and they're buying it. So they're trying to convince a bunch of banks to give them another $42 billion to add to their existing portfolio. The market so far not loving that. Do you remember 2 weeks ago I mentioned there was a sort of famous economist that was more or less making fun of them and saying that, you know, they're crazy for their strategy. And I don't know. I mean, the last laugh, they may have the last laugh, right? I mean, look at their daily chart so far. You know, that it's been going up on the daily, so they haven't been hurt overall, but we are in an interesting place here where we've faltered off of those all-time highs, and I don't know what's going to happen today, but it feels like they're in play. So all right, that's enough about MSTR because I got so many others to talk about. Okay, keeping in that same sector, how about Coin had earnings. Coin actually missed their numbers on the quarter, and they've announced, which is normally a positive thing, but $1 billion buyback of their stock. So they're going to be spending some of their own cash to buy back their own stock. Again, normally a good thing. In this case, doesn't seem to be supporting their price as they are gapping down. Not a lot, but just a little bit this morning. Also on my list, I have Riot. Riot beat their numbers in the quarter, but are gapping down on a lowered guidance and outlook. We already mentioned Roku, didn't we? Yeah, we talked about Roku. So Roku's down.
Yep, we did.
Robinhood we mentioned. All right, I got to get Amazon. How about Amazon? Amazon is gapping down this morning. Again, earnings after the close. And like I said, a lot of these that have earnings, they've been moving pretty well into the earnings. I've sort of been surprised at how well they've been moving. So you know, I think Amazon's worth keeping an eye on just as they head into their earnings after the close today. I've also got Uber we talked about. How about Budweiser? There's one. BUD. Budweiser is one that I was tracking here just because their earnings are coming out, and I always find it entertaining to track these. Not usually very tradable, but if you like it, by all means, right, pay attention to it. As their expectations were below analysts' expectations. I guess less beer. Apparently, there's volumes are lower. There's less beer being bought out there. So, come on, guys, all you beer drinkers, you need to buy a Bud. Apparently, support the company. I don't drink beer, so I have no idea, but I can support the
There we go.
Scotch,
All right, man.
the Scotch distillers, but that's all I got. Anyways, Carlos, that's it. I mean, like, as you can see, guys, so many targets out there, right? But basically pick whatever you want. I'm going to be watching a combination of things that had earnings and stuff where earnings are coming out at the end of the day, because they honestly are moving quite well. And I think there's some opportunities out there. So I don't even know how to narrow my list at this point. Like, I've narrowed it down to 15, but that's way too many. I have to get to, less than half of that. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of work this morning to figure out what to watch.
Yeah, we definitely got a lot of options, and you just have to be picky. And I'm trying to be picky today. That's why my gappers list, my watch list, I have more on my secondary list just to keep a space for the stuff that I might like more than others. So let's take a look at you guys. What do you guys like this morning? I saw Piton being mentioned, which we did look at Piton earlier. It is in play. I don't like the way the stock trades at all, so I'm not going to have it on my list. I think they're very choppy. Also, something about stocks under like 20, $15, I don't prefer. Price is not a hard no, but I just prefer things that are a little bit higher. I think they trade a little bit more stable. So again, they have news today. So if you do like them, they are in play. But I'm just not going to go that route when it comes to Piton. I think they're just difficult to trade. Microsoft, yes, Microsoft I do have on here. The question is it going to continue to sell off? Who knows? Who knows? We might get to an area of support. We are getting close to an area of support right around here, especially the low of the pre-market. If you see that, so we might see some buyers step in here and push the stock up, right? So it might be an overreaction to the earnings and things like that. So we'll have to see. But I do like them this morning. I will be keeping an eye on them for sure. And over in our chat, I see Dash, DASH. This is DoorDash. Yeah, this is a tough one, and it's just because the lack of volume. I mean, they just don't get volume.
Yeah.
The price is not that bad. 165 is a great trading price, but man, this volume of like averaging, what is this? Just ballpark parking here, 1.7, 1.8. That's just not good on the daily. So you're gonna get, you're gonna get a wide spread for even this price. You're not gonna get a good order flow. And when a stock looks like this, right? I mean, this is just brutal. This is not something you want to be trading. It's very difficult to read the price action. So yeah, so they have they're in place today. Was his earnings moving them up this morning?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at
Yeah,
that.
they had
It's gotta be
earnings.
earnings,
It
right?
was actually
Yeah.
after the close yesterday, and they announced a new
Yeah.
partnership with Lyft, which is good for them as well. So
Nice.
partnering with Lyft for the deliveries. But like you said, the volume is usually pretty low here. The trading volume is low enough that it makes it just tough to trade.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like it, man. So we'll leave that one alone. But again, if you have the space today, will be the day. RDDT, yes, this was active yesterday. So I actually I'm glad you brought this up because I forgot about it. It was active yesterday and it did trade very well, pre-market and also into the market open. Give you a couple opportunities on here. Then went flat later in the day, but it did give you a clean open. So I like this one today for a second day play. Might not be on our main list, but at least a secondary. I think it could be interesting, right? We do have shares for sure here. Volume is light, so we have to wait for the market open to see if we're going to get a continuation here or maybe some profit taking because this is a big move from 80 to 105. Yesterday we opened up and now 117, trying to crack that 120 there. So could be interesting. I definitely like them for a second day play. I'm gonna put them on my secondary list for now, and I gotta fine tune this list as we get closer to 9:30. Let's take a look here, guys. Speaking of getting close to numbers, let's see what our YouTube likes looks like today. So I'm just gonna go over here. We're gonna go reset this thing and see what we got going on. So, friends, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. Really, really appreciate it. They must think my house is dirty. I keep getting these cleaning ads, and our house is really clean. My wife and I do a pretty good job at that. But I keep getting this $19 clean your home. I'm gonna have to call them and say what the heck is going on, what kind of deal they have running here. $19 to clean my house. I'm definitely taking it. But 151 likes so far, friends. Let's get to 300. That is our number. That's our goal for Peter and I to fit. Before we finish the pre-market show, we have 551 people watching and climbing there. So 300, really appreciate it. So I appreciate the
It,
support, guys. It helps us out a ton. Yeah, Peter.
it's only $19 to clean your house, Carlos, because they lift enough stuff from your place to make up the difference. So
That's right.
so be
Yeah,
careful.
I'm sure.
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna
I'm making
call them later and find out. Dude, I guarantee you, it's not $19 to clean my
That's right.
house. They say, oh, that's
That's
only for
right.
like 500 square feet. And then the rest additional this and that and that and that. Yeah,
That's right. Your house is
I got a
super clean,
Lamborghini
but
to
your
sell you in
your
Vancouver.
TV's gone, and your
Yeah, exactly,
stole the car.
exactly. Um, All right, friends. What else we have going on here? So RDDT, good. Roblox is great. That's on my list. I love them this morning. They're looking awesome, man. Breaking new highs here. So that is great. And let's look at Tesla and Nvidia. We haven't looked at those two. Tesla right now pretty flat. It's got some volume. So not much going on there. Nvidia being mentioned here as well. Let's take a look. Nvidia, it could be interesting at the market open. We got volume here. We're down 1.2 with Meta and some other ones down, Microsoft, we can see a play out of NVIDIA today, right? So I am going to put that on there. And as I'm looking through this, I'm just going to make one more change here. I am going to move Uber up on the list because although they're difficult to trade at times, their volume is still looking good. And that they're down 7%. So I'm hoping this can trade good today. Again, it's a hit or miss when it comes to Uber, but I'm going to add them to our list. All right, perfect. That covers our gap up and the down list. Peter, let's go to you for yeah, go ahead.
I think you
Carlos.
need to find out what this cleaning company is. I think Rob has cracked their business model. They use a drone to drop off a Roomba, and that's how your house gets cleaned. So it's super cheap for them, and then the drone comes back and collects the Roomba after 5 or 6 hours, and that's it. I think that's a brilliant
I'm
business
calling
model. I
them
want to run
today.
that company. Yeah, you know what? I
I'm
mean, you
calling them
can
today. I want to see what they
go
do.
public, trade it. It's all AI based. It'd be great. It's got all the little buzzwords, and you're using all the modern tech. Perfect. No humans involved.
There you go. Peter, take us through what's happening today, our community events, and then we'll come back and do some quick levels and then moderators list. So get ready for that as we prepare for the market open.
Yeah, we had so much to cover today that we're running a few minutes late, but we'll catch it up. Look, today is mentorship day. So we got 4 sessions for you starting at 11 a.m. with John. We then have Jared and Megan doing their 2 p.m. option session. We're back with equities with Lenny at 4. And then, of course, Thor does his popular Thursday mentorship happening tonight at 8 p.m. So those are the 4 for you: 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m. So busy all day with our mentorship. That's what's got you going. If you want to join us here, don't forget, we've got our membership sale still on, right? It's Halloween. That's why Super Trader is here. And I am here to tell you that the super deal is happening on, apparently
That's scary.
we cheaped out on our web services. But anyways, it's still, use the code SPOOKY50 to get 50% off your membership. If you want to join us here at Bear Bull Trader, always available, and you can join. There it is, right there on the Elite Annual SPOOKY50. I noticed that we've now added another membership option here, the Diamond, which gets you that discount. Plus, you get the popular $50,000 funded account. If you trade in this account and you make money, we will pay you. So it is a funded account that you can use. There are rules, right? You can only have, there's a limit to the drawdown that you can take over a certain period of time. You have to trade consistently, etc. That's just to make sure people aren't gaming the system. But it's really intended as a training account. So if you're developing your trading skills and you want to try it out in a funded environment where you get to, sort of play with essentially real money, but not yours, then you might want to try the Diamond account. Might be worth it for you. So check it out. All available on our website, bearbulltraders.com. Go there and you can find what the options are. Pick the right one for you. All right, Carlos, let's set those levels. I'll tell you what the moderators are doing. We'll get live. So much to do this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So much to watch with earnings and everything going on. Looking at Roblox, this thing is on fire, friends. It is just cranking this morning. Up 23%. This is one of my favorite ones today. So on fire. There it is. There's the fire going.
Fire,
we were
man.
discussing with Brent. We 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 don't know if that's a bad burning fire or like, let's go to the moon burning fire. So we got to figure it out.
It's just on
But
fire.
it's on fire.
Just
It's
on
just on
fire. All
fire in a
right.
good way. There we go. Up today, 53.99 is the high of the pre-market on Roblox. I mean, tons of volume, guys. 2.6. This is one of my favorite stocks to trade when it is in play. I think it trades very well. And it's looking awesome today. 48.49 towards the left, another level here. What is that? That's like a little candle up here. What is that's weird. Okay,
Yeah, I
it's
saw
interesting.
that candle.
Um,
It was on
what
my
is
daily
that?
chart too. It was very odd. Yeah,
That is
but
very strange, but it's up there. Yeah, weird. All right, let's go to the left here, to the left, and we are hitting 52-week highs in this thing. So we haven't been up here in quite some time. We're going back to 2022. So let's pick up some levels here. We do have 61.49. We have another one. I know this is hard to see on your end, but 57.81, and then also 66.48. So we'll mark those two towards the top, guys. And then towards the bottom, you're pretty much set. You have the highs and lows for the last two trading days. You got a beautiful pop this morning, and looks like a new high looking to get created now as this thing continues, man. It's just on fire. So really like Roblox this morning. Microsoft is another one in play today. Again, 1.3 million shares traded. It's down today. You also have Apple down a little bit. Meta is down. So a lot of these Magnificent Seven, Nvidia is down. I haven't checked AMD. I see Andrew has AMD on his list. AMD slightly down, not as much as the other ones, but a couple of all these stocks down today. But Microsoft is going to be the one I keep my eye on. 412.97 is the low of the pre-market, and 419.70 is the high of the pre-market there. So once you do that, you look to the left here on the daily, right where the price action is. We're sitting at a level, so you might as well mark that right there as well. It's going to be 416. 416.77. So slam one there too. A lot of days opening, closing on the against that level. And then towards the bottom, in case we do sell down, 408.98. And then towards the top, you don't need to add anything because you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days. Doing a great job there. Let's take a look at Meta. Again, Meta bouncing back here, guys. So again, low of yesterday. So like 554 after earnings. And then low of this morning, pre-market 550, 563.66. So we'll mark that there as well. And then below that, just in case, 547.17. But right now, we're looking to head higher, maybe close this gap down that we have today. So you do have the previous day close, the highs and lows for the last two trading days on there. Where the price action is now, if you see this red line, I'll draw for you a little bit better right over here. That is also a level. Look at the support you have here. Look at the resistance. This is worth marking down. So we're going to slam one right on there. That's going to be around a 583.58. So definitely put that there. You can see the struggle we're having here around this area this morning in the pre-market, but Meta looks really good today. Let's head over to Nvidia. Nvidia highs and lows of the pre-market is going to be 138, 40 towards the top, and then towards the bottom we're going to have 136.20. Above that, highs and lows for the last two trading days. And if we were to drop lower on the daily, we do have 133.93, and then a big support level over at 131.16. Last but not least, it's going to be Uber, heavily in play this morning, down 7.3. I'm hoping this thing can trade well today. Low of the pre-market 71.18. The high all the way at 82.44. So we got a big range as far as the highs and lows goes today. Set this morning already on Uber. Right where the price action is, again, another stock kind of slightly below a great daily level, 174.16. And once that, I mean, look at the big picture. You're pretty much set. You have the highs and lows for the last two trading days, doing a great job. I don't think you need to add anything else. Oh, maybe right here. Yeah, let's not miss the 68.86 is a good level to add there. Other than that, friends, you are set. Let's take a look at the moderators list and also what the team is watching this morning.
yeah, just an update on our calendar of events. It looks like Thor is not going to be able to do his mentorship session at 8 p.m. tonight, so canceled that one. We'll have. It looks like the other three are happening at 11, 2, and 4, but the 8 o'clock session with Thor, he's probably out trick or treating with the kids, which makes sense. So no Thor mentorship tonight at 8. All right. Okay, now let's get to. Oh, it's daughter's birthday. Oh, even more important. Happy
Oh,
birthday.
more important. Happy birthday to your
There
daughter,
you go.
man. Nice.
Yeah. With birthday on Halloween. Wow. Okay. Cool. Spooky. All right, let's talk about the moderator watch list. Thor's in first. Speaking of the devil, Spy Q's DJT, Meta, and NVIDIA on his list. Jared's going to be watching Meta, Reddit, Roblox, NCLH, EL, and Hood. As you can already see, right? So many targets out there. Lenny's going to be watching Microsoft, Meta, Roblox, Uber, Carvana, Roku. Mike, amazingly, still keeping it tight with Meta and Roblox. Megan's going to be watching Reddit, Microsoft, Meta, and Roblox. Andrew, Microsoft, Meta, Uber, and AMD. What else? Who's next? Me. Look at that. I'm going to be watching AMD, Meta, and Amazon. Also Microsoft, Peloton, and Uber. Pierre's going to be watching Apple, NVIDIA, Tesla, and Meta. And Brendan's going to be watching NVIDIA, Meta, Roblox, and AMD. I have no IPOs or SPACs to announce for you today. It's a quiet day on that front, but it's busy otherwise. So it's so many things to watch. Again, pick your targets. Just stay focused on them, right? You don't want to be chasing butterflies and catch none of them today. It's a great day for opportunity, so I hope you fully take advantage. Remember, trade smart. Even on these exciting days, it's exciting, but don't let yourself get distracted. Just focus on whatever stocks you've chosen, and you will find the opportunity. If not, don't worry. There's always another day, right? The worst thing you can do is jump around and then find yourself just shooting randomly, right? So this is not a game of hand grenades. Don't fall for it. All right. That's my advice for today.
Andrew's on deck. Good morning, Andrew. Smart. How are you doing today?
That's excellent. Trade smart. Wait.
Good morning.
Peter, you okay?
Where'd my super mask go? I can't find it.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Lenny. Yeah, you got to get the mask. We got to show the mask. The dog took it.
I don't know what happened to it.
All right, we'll come back when Peter has the mask. Guys, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good. All good here. Nice one, Peter.
Good morning, guys. I'm sorry I was muted. I was talking to myself like an idiot.
Oh, no wonder.
Peter was funny. Superman. Got us go clean your house. And Lenny,
Yeah.
What are you watching?
Yeah. I've been preparing some stock, lots of stocks on the watch list. I'm going to share my screen now as well so people in the chat.
Yeah, there it is. He found the mask.
Oh,
Peter,
wow.
you found the real Superman. That's a real Superman.
Oh, wow.
That's epic, bro. Everybody should be wearing that mask. Everybody should be wearing that mask. That's a real Halloween costume. Good Halloween costume.
Incredible.
Nice. Very, very nice. All right. So I see a lot of things gapping up and down. Root is gapping up 100%. That is super interesting. The stock back in February it started rallying from $9 and then went up to 85 and now coming back. Root is also interesting. I don't know how it trades. I actually never traded that myself. But if it gets a good order flow, that's one of those things that could be valuable for trading. Again, but be careful of your share size on this one. Root is having, in terms of float, is 171 million shares float. No, sorry, that's not 9 million shares float. Yeah, so.
Sorry to interrupt you, Andrew and Lenny. If you can share your screens in the chat.
Yes.
That'd be great.
I'm sharing my screen now so people can select it.
I can actually share it too, yeah.
I think Hood is one of these stocks that usually don't trade the best, but then have some occasionally really, really awesome trading setups and order flow.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see. Again, one of the reasons that I trade the NVIDIA, Tesla, and AMD is usually their order flow is super nice, and having a very, very nice order flow is important, at least for my style of trading now for scalping. I think Microsoft would be interesting. Now it's coming above the VWAP. Let's see what the opening price would be. Uh,
Yeah.
um,
Did you see Carvana?
Spy.
How much it moved up last year, last year and a half?
Carvana, yeah, Carvana after pandemic was crazy, and then the recovery after pandemic was amazing. Like now up 14%, huh? Carvana was. I remember that it was trading like less than $10 or something. Yeah, back
Yeah,
in
but it wasn't even like
pandemic.
1 year and a half ago though.
Yeah, in
Moved up.
2023, it was trading around $4 and now $134. You got to be kidding me! Wow.
So I could be setting up for some profit taking today, but it already made a move in the pre-market.
Yeah.
Remember
TWO though,
Roku? How we
there's
used
so
to
much
trade
action.
Roku a lot.
Yeah, we used to trade Roku, but not a lot. And there was Roku, not a lot. Like even Riot, for example, too. I never really traded them very often. We did trade them, but not very crazily. Cody's down 7%, Uber 7%, SMCI another 7%.
Yes. One more gap down in SMCI. Uber could be interesting as well today.
Yeah, Uber is definitely interesting in play. Uber had the earning this morning, huh? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's true. Yes, it sold off around a little bit before 7 a.m. US market time.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Brian was trading Roku way more than me. Let's see. Super interesting day, guys. Super interesting.
Lots of things. Did you see Roblox as well? Gapping up very strong. That's also doing its own thing in the pre-market. Moving sideways
Uh,
first, moving up.
these earnings are funny. Like Peter was saying that, like for example, they come and say, "We made so much money." Microsoft is saying, "We made so much money last quarter. You had no idea." Next quarter, we also make so much money, but not as much as you were hoping, and then it start gapping down. Like, come on, man. These guidances, like these drops on guidances, are just nonsense. And then the
Yeah.
next year, the next quarter, they say, "Oh yeah, we beat that." That's the gap up again. Samit, Reddit. I think I did trade it after we left the chat room. I think I had a really good trade on Reddit. So gapping up now again. I think I had a good trade on. I don't remember exactly. It was a good trade. What is AMD doing? It's kind of flat on the daily chart. There's not much going on AMD.
So 1 more minute.
1 more minute. I'm gonna wait for at least a minute. I'll see what we're gonna get. Every time that I'm jumping a little bit too early, I usually get chopped up. So
Meta almost completely filled the gap in the pre-market.
Meta. Just see, I don't know which one to see. Watch Meta. Yeah, it's 1% in the daily chart. Yeah, looks like it doesn't want to go down, huh? This MBLY is hitting the scanner. What is that one up to? 13%.
And the otherwise is very strong.
All right, let's see where the volume is. Looking for some good volatility. Wood is popping up.
So Q's opening a little bit weak so far.
NVIDIA is weak.
Tesla opening strong.
Meta is selling off. So 1 minute, Tesla is strong. AMD went green. Wow.
My game plan will also be to not trade in the first 3 minutes today. I think it's not really clear. Many stocks.
It's good volume. Yeah, careful of your share size, guys, in the root. It's tricky. NVIDIA is sold off, like with very nice opening range breakdown. See if you can get another opportunity on NVIDIA. AMD also rejected previous day close. SPY selling off. 1% Q selling off.
Keep selling off indeed.
Oh, NVIDIA seems like crazy volume on it.
SPY about to hit a level.
Yeah, NVIDIA is going to go lower and lower. Okay, let's see what we can. Let's NVIDIA, this 3 might go to S4. I'm thinking possibly a short on NVIDIA. Let's see, get a pullback.
SPY is right now in an area of potential support. Used to be the previous all-time high of
Getting a short
September.
on NVIDIA at 136.20. Let's see if we can get to S. Getting a short on this pullback on NVIDIA at 136.20. I can give it like 30 cents. S4 is at 135. If you can get to a S5, that would be a very nice pullback. Meta, what's Meta doing? So I'm short NVIDIA at 136.20. Let's see if we can get to S4, which is at 135.34. Meta is coming up. What's Microsoft? Microsoft also sold off, huh?
Yeah. AMD also sold off further, pretty aggressively as well. Huge candles in AMD.
Oh, yeah. I hope that I could get some drop like that on NVIDIA. So that small mini pullback on 1 minute.
So there's a lot of selling. Carvana also dropping now, but
selling
many
going
stocks.
I'm going to add a little bit more on the NVIDIA short. Microsoft is trying to 408 is a level, trying to come that area. Oh, NVIDIA, don't go up, NVIDIA. You are going in the wrong direction. SPY trying to find the bottom.
Yes, I think an important point might be an important point, the area where SPY is right now.
Yeah, SPY is below S4. Yeah, NVIDIA, I don't like this bounce on NVIDIA. Get stopped out on it. Microsoft can be a potential short.
Who's selling off?
I'm shorting Microsoft at 410.24. See if you can go below 408. Yeah, NVIDIA seems that it wants to not go much lower. What is that? Are you in the bathroom? Lenny, what is that sound?
Excuse me.
What is this sound?
Garbage
Are you
truck.
in the toilet? Uh,
Now garbage trucks are coming here as well.
Garbage trucks in
Street cleaners.
Colombia.
Yeah. So Roku now
I'm
breaking
also
down.
short, guys, on Microsoft as at 410.36. Let's see, I'd like to see if we can get to 408. 408 is a level on Microsoft. AMD is going down. NVIDIA, I'm still staying in the short.
See a lot of weakness, but I just can't find the perfect entry. Roku looks very weak. Carvana looks weak. Carvana also bouncing off the pre-market low.
Things that I'm short, they don't go down. Like NVIDIA and Microsoft. Microsoft is popping up. Long.
Roku might have been an entry. Just a bit extended. Roku dropped almost $4 in 6 minutes. It's not.
Let's see if NVIDIA is going to go to S4 or not. Soft is bouncing back, most likely stopping out. I'm all out of Microsoft, so I'm covering all of my Microsoft. Microsoft, it looks like it wants to go back up, actually. So I'm long Microsoft. I flipped my position 412 to Microsoft long. So I'm long Microsoft. Let's see if Microsoft can, yeah, I'm long Microsoft, get some sort of a partial fill on that. Let's see, Microsoft is now actually coming above the VWAP. So I got to stop down on Microsoft. Let's see if Microsoft can pop up by closes above the VWAP. It becomes like an engulfing. Adding a little bit more on Microsoft. Microsoft might act nice, super strong now.
It's a nice breakthrough VWAP.
You know, it looks now it's slowly becoming like engulfing. NVIDIA is also bouncing back, so I gotta cover my NVIDIA. See what NVIDIA is doing. Its SPY is bouncing back, yeah. So I'm also covering my short on NVIDIA, guys. There's two shorts that I had. I covered both of them. Let's see if Microsoft can hold above the VWAP. What do we have? AMD is holding down there. Roku is keep hitting a scanner. It's
Yeah.
Roku up to
Roku sold off.
Getting get stopped out on Microsoft too, guys. Again, both NVIDIA and Microsoft are. I got a really bad loss on Microsoft, guys. I'm back short NVIDIA from that. Now NVIDIA is now going. Both of them dropped that VWAP. So I'm back short on NVIDIA. Let's see if we can go below S4. Damn, what a crazy, stupid. We just popped up to the VWAP and then it stopped me out. Let's see if NVIDIA can this time go lower. I'm short both Microsoft and NVIDIA again. Let's see if NVIDIA gets to S4. SPY went back, dropped. Carvana, what did you trade? Did you trade
I
anything?
did not trade anything today. No, I think like there was an entry at Roku, but I hesitated a little bit too long. There was an entry maybe at 9:36 when it broke below. When at 9:35 it's closed below the pre-market low, I made a new low, but I didn't take it. For the still watching, Carvana turned out to be very choppy, very erratic trading. Uber also, it's moving up and down. Not really.
Not
A few. I'm
bad.
really looking for.
Like, yeah, it doesn't seem like I'm heavily down. Very, very negative. See if Microsoft wants to break down. And NVIDIA. The problem with my short NVIDIA is just super bad, very bad place. Should have shorted that VWAP.
And the issues like these, they're like these two big red candles, 938, 939.
What Meta? What did Meta do for bring? Nothing. Mobily. Microsoft still holding at 410. If Microsoft wants to go lower or not. This NVIDIA might actually get out of it because it's NVIDIA also not super interesting. Microsoft. I am covering my Microsoft. Shit. Yeah, this Microsoft is really wants to go down. I'm covering my Microsoft. Oh, Microsoft. It's just my entry is super bad, and it did go up, then rejected. I got a bad really loss on it on the long. Super choppy. At least this is stocks. Or SPY is at the VWAP. There's not much going on. SPY.
No, SPY make the initial sell-off, got back, bounced back from that level, previous all-time high, and is now just being range bound, choppy last couple of minutes. Qs could be more interesting, perhaps going to break down the Qs, but I think it's also seems to hold.
Google is hitting the scanner. Let's see what Google will do.
Google is the only tech name that's up today, at least like the big tech stocks.
Yeah. I had a really couple of bad loss, guys. SMCI. Capitulation. Yeah, SMCI is super capitulated. 29.
Let's look for a stock with a nice trend. I'm going to add. Yeah, SMCI sold off further. This is actually one of these stocks that early this year, when many chip companies, semiconductors went up, that I also heard like people like who had nothing to do with trading start to speak about it because it just went up and up and up, right? And
I know
like a certain
those
sector
guys,
or
now
stock.
those guys are getting capitulated. The people who are really had no idea. Like one of my friends messaged me and said, "Oh, I want to buy SMCI." I said, "No, please don't." Especially now they're gapping down, they think it's a good deal. So the deep buyers are usually not very professional. Or another friend, she said, "Oh, her dad wants to buy Boeing." So, oh my God, Boeing it's a troubled company. Just don't buy the deep. All right, so let's see if
Good now.
NVIDIA is going to go to
Breaking
a score again or not. So we have some big ask on NVIDIA at 135.50. Let's see if you want to eventually get that. I'm still short on it. Super struggling.
Q's
Defending
just
itself.
broke down.
Oh yeah, Q's broke
So
down. It's not like that.
could be some momentum with the market.
But they're buying when it goes down. NVDA. Yeah, I'm kind of losing my hope on NVDA short, honestly. It's just every dip is being bought back up.
It's very wiki from the bottom side, right? And also Q's selling up, but Nvidia did not make the sell off yet. It's also not the best sign.
Yeah, exactly. I might actually cover my short because before I get squeezed. Microsoft also holding super nice on this 410 area.
SPY retesting now this level where earlier today bounced off.
It's coming down. Come on, SPY, go down. $533, never really touched this for. Come on. Microsoft is also holding this 410, super nice. NVDA, one leg down. This is my chance to get out of NVDA at break even if I want to. So there you go. Oh, come on. Partially got some. No, this might not last. Partially some NVDA. SPY is coming down. Megan, what did you trade? Reddit, huh? Interesting. Yeah, let's see if NVIDIA wants to break S4 or not. What's the daily chart look like on NVIDIA? Yeah. Not a lot of level here.
Yeah, just fell below the 20 EMA on the daily. Seem to be some
If you can
bearish
get
momentum.
135. Yeah, usually NVIDIA even starts selling off. It usually goes really well. Let's see if today is one of those days or not. Like 135, there's a big ask on it. Let's see if we can break down.
Starting.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Right now, it's up. That's good. So I'm short guys in NVIDIA, so making some losses back. I'm pretty weak on. I'm pretty short red for the day. Let's see if this NVIDIA can go a little bit lower. Partialing here now. Microsoft also going. Tesla is also breaking down, hitting the scanner. Let's see what Tesla doing. Yeah, it looks like things are going south, which we want.
Yes. SPY convincingly breaking down this level now. Broke a couple of minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
Size of the candle becoming bigger. More volume on the way down.
Yeah, Tesla is also super nice. It's hitting AMD. Now things are getting super nice.
Yeah.
Who's trading what, guys? Are you? Anyone? Time to buy SMCI? No, Mental Bear. Please don't. Don't do the deep buying on SMCI. These companies, when they're fundamentally broken, they just keep going down. See, it's just a highway to hell on SMCI.
And bullish momentum from the last 2 weeks seems to be broken a little bit for today, but let's see if the buying brigade steps in later today or not, or if it's going to stay weak.
Yeah. All right. So I'm covering more on NVDA. That's pretty nice. I made the losses back on NVDA. It's pretty good. How far the NVDA can go. AMD, Tesla, they're all hitting the scanner. Microsoft is very bottomy. Microsoft doesn't want to go more than 5%, huh? Today was another number that somehow came. What was it? Was it the inflation number? Was the PCE
Yeah,
number?
the
There
PCE.
was PCE. Is it producer? What was that PCE for? Stand for?
PCE. I think that I didn't see any. It came out 1 hour before the market opened, but I didn't see any response from the market, so it felt not significant. It was the PCE, man. So now market selling off Tesla.
Looking at the add to my short on NVDA, I was looking for that place to add. Just didn't get that. What is Meta doing? Meta sold off too, huh? Microsoft could be a good long. I'm taking a long on Microsoft at 4,960. Microsoft looks like has bottomed. It's kind of a little bit of a tricky trade, but let's see if Microsoft can pop to near the VWAP. NVIDIA 4% down.
I was short in Roku for a bit, but I covered my position because I felt like it's going too slow. Order flow seems to be gone, so I covered
You
the break
chickened
even.
out, huh?
Chickened out, chicken.
Chicken. So Microsoft is popping up. Let's see if Microsoft can go back to VWAP. That would be super nice. NVIDIA, I'm still short. My average in NVIDIA is 135.54. Do you think if I add here, it's too late. Should have added a little bit more on this bounce. I might actually turn around my day. This Microsoft pops back up to Viva. Interesting day. All right, NVIDIA is dropping below. I'm partialing some on NVIDIA. But Microsoft is coming up. It's nice. Microsoft 412. Partial another 10% on NVIDIA. Come on, Microsoft, pop. Please. Yeah, so it turned out to be, now it's slowly getting better. Matt, Meta, NVIDIA, you covered your shorts. Nice, happy Halloween, Matt. Markets buying 1%, Qs 1.7%. Halloween.
Halloween market got scared a little bit today. Selling off for the first time.
Let's see, it's Halloween. Gotta be scary. Although, what is it? Like SPY is back to the levels that it was like 5 days ago. Like when was it? Like October. October 9 was
Yeah, of
here.
course.
So how's the US dollar doing? Yeah, US dollar is strong. Bitcoin back to $71,000. Who had earning too? Yeah, Robinhood had the earning. Dropped.
Yeah, definitely.
But the way that
Sold
it's
up, but it was
selling
never
up,
really clean, I think. Yeah.
I think Nvidia might go to 132 and below. Like these levels, the 130, 172 that I have. Like now I have a pretty good entry, so I'm not really desperate to manage these. I might actually add into my position if it bounces back. Let's see what's going to happen. And I'm still long Microsoft, guys. Let's see if Microsoft is making a new 5-minute high, even though it's gapping down 5%, but it didn't sell off to back to the low of the day. So I'm long Microsoft. I want to see if you can go back to VWAP.
Microsoft's also at a nice level. You see like the lowest point of October. Microsoft bounced off it today.
Yeah, what is it? Is it 408, 4843? Is that level?
Yeah, it's 408.17. Indeed.
Yeah, I had that the level marked on my chart. Yeah, exactly. 408, 4843. It's also we are also at another standing at another level on Microsoft around 410. And I wish I had this level earlier on my chart because back in the low of this doji of October 16, super nice. Oh, okay, Microsoft is popping up. That's nice. I'm adding a little bit on Microsoft. Let's see. Microsoft can go to volume weighted average price. VWAP, the blue line on my chart. That would be super nice if you can get there. Yeah, Microsoft really held that level. NVDA is 133. I'm covering more NVDA too, just to make sure to book the profit. See if Microsoft get to VWAP. I was trading, guys, in the chat room, guys. How did you guys do?
Yeah, please share
Paris,
some
one of my
trades.
best days ever. Diwali and happy Halloween. What did you do, trade
Nice.
Paris? I love you, Tesla. Paris is gonna always comes to microphone and says, "I love you, Tesla." Ah, shit! Nvidia is selling off more.
Breaking down here.
Nvidia, guys. Nvidia 133. I'm covering more. That Nvidia is super nice. Paris, what did you trade?
I like it. I like that bullish engulfing sandwich in Nvidia the last 3 minutes before this breakdown.
Oh, beautiful! Look at that. It's amazing.
Nice.
It was driving us crazy at the open, but now look at that. I'm glad I stayed in there. I was so close to cover my short. Just problem is I needed to add more. What did you trade? Uber. Nice, Paris. The Uber, very nice trading on Uber, man. Super nice. DJT was halted. DJT was getting halted. Oh yeah, well, DJT is on fire too again, huh? Oh. DJT got from that 10% selling off again. Do we lose our money on DJT? No, I got my lesson on DJT. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, but DJT. Yeah, next week we're also going to see some volatility in DJT. So Q's about to make a new low for the day. Or bouncing off.
Roblox is really, really nice too. Paris, very nice trading on both of them. it is selling off. NVIDIA is selling off more, partial at 132.57. If Microsoft pops up, my day would be perfect, amazing.
With all these great trades, Andrew, maybe chat should give you a like.
Like, these guys are not liking. I don't know why. I don't know what should I do. We give them laptop and they're not liking. Brent, come on,
We
guys.
did
I
get a lot
lost
of likes
real.
yesterday. We got over
Yesterday we
700.
did. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did get to 700. If we get to 1,000, I'm going to give 2 laptops. Oh, Microsoft, guys. That's amazing. Microsoft is popping up to VBAP. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Be generous in life. Universe is giving it to you. Seriously, my mom was always telling me that you should be generous in life. Like the likes doesn't hit anything to you. Doesn't really cost you anything.
It costs you
more
nothing,
you
but it
give, the
means a
more you
lot
will
to
get.
us.
But it means a lot to us. Exactly. It's a very, very good. We have. This doesn't really cost you anything, but it means a lot to me. It's a very nice gift. Meta. Wow. Meta 2. Paris is killing it. Like 3 trades. All 3 trades are amazing. Paris is back like a boss. He's so back. Paris was not trading for some time, but now he's so back. Cindy, what did you do? Cindy did a nice bottom purchase on. Microsoft is popping. I'm still long on Microsoft, guys. I probably should sell some to recover those loss, but I'm a little bit greedy here. 1,412 on Microsoft. I should have added more. 12.
Nice. Getting to VWeb now.
Yeah. I mean, I had a very big loss on Microsoft, so try to recover that. NVIDIA also pretty good. So I'm covering some NVIDIA. Just wanted to add on NVIDIA and I couldn't add on NVIDIA. So Microsoft is going up above the VWAP. So Microsoft is nice. We can get above the VWAP. That would be nice. I'm actually might come out of this day green. Interesting. That is nice. 10. There's no news at 10.
I don't see a big response.
No, there's
Yet.
just the Chicago PMI at 945.
What was it? What, something came out at 9:45?
Just the Chicago PMI. But I'm not too sure what that means. It's more of a Peter question.
It's producer manufacturing index or something, a price manufacturing index or something. It seems to me that these macroeconomic numbers are really losing the steam and momentum. It looks like it because it used to be super big, but now it's just because the kind of everybody is getting a better thing on economy, a better grasp of economy, so it's not really that important. So Microsoft is popping above VWAP.
Same with GDP yesterday. There was no response from the market.
Yeah, even
GDP
inflation, even
data.
yeah, even inflation. People, they kind of it seems that now is more earning for the companies rather than Feds and stuff. Like before 2020, we didn't know what Fed is. I personally didn't know. I was trading like all from 2012 to 2020. I never knew what Fed is. Like it never really fall. It never really impacted day trading that much there because interest rates were super low and
Yeah. But we learned the power from the Fed in the last couple of
and
years.
then back in 2015 and then back in 2022 when they started increasing the rate and the whole cycle started. And there's they have an impact on the market, and then every FOMC meeting and everything just became so important. The biggest loss that I had at TNA was also that I didn't know the concept of business cycles. Like now, as a young entrepreneur, the most important thing that I learned in the last couple of years was economy has something called business cycle. This is the most important. It's so important as a business owner to be ready for the business cycles because you can't always go up like that. You always have to get into these ups and downs. The concept of business cycle is super important, and economies need the cycles. And that was the biggest lesson that I think you have to be ready for that kind of thing. So, but now they became again irrelevant again. Like the bond market doesn't seem that they're really moving that much with them and everything. So it's funny that this cycle is very interesting.
I think DJT was halted again.
DJT,
Yeah.
deep. Unbelievable, man. I never touched this stock. Unbelievable.
Oh, wow. What a trend.
Yeah, I'm still short shallow on NVIDIA. Not a lot. I'm out most of my position. I was thinking of adding some there, but it looks like it's bouncing back super nice. I don't know if I want to add. It's crazy. Be careful, guys. Trading like something like DJT, you got to be super, super careful. This is super dangerous.
Yeah, it got halted at an interesting point, directly at the breakdown. A little bit below it.
NVIDIA is also reaping back. Super nice. I'm still long on Microsoft, guys. Well, you don't know actually about the concept of business cycles. Like could be short. Like one thing that happened is the business cycles became much shorter with this, manipulation of interest rates and quantitative easing. Usually the business cycles like 10, 12 years. But this concept of business cycle is super important. It's like, yes, I think it's super important. Like these big companies, CEOs of the big companies, if they don't know that, they don't plan the company ahead properly, they go bankrupt. They have been bankrupt so many times. Okay, I'm going to get out of my Microsoft, I think. I'm all out of my Microsoft position. Kind of dropped. NVIDIA is recovering super nice at 131.72. So you was asking a question about in the chat room is about the DJT. So he's in DJT, and he's asking, should I still in there until the election if I think Trump is going to win? So the question here is, what's your average on DJT? That's the most important thing. What's your entry on DJT? And another thing is that how do you think that if the Trump is elected, the DJT is going to go up? Doesn't necessarily might go up. So you never know. A lot of time we have something called buy the news, sell the rumor. Sometimes all the way to the election goes up, and then after the election comes down, while everybody thinks the opposite. Like I remember that, for example, Dogecoin. Remember back in I think 2021 was Dogecoin was super thing, and Elon Musk was pumping it, and he went to Saturday Night Live. I don't know if anyone's remembering it. I'm sure Jared remembers that. Everybody thinks that at Saturday Night Live, when Elon Musk mentioned Dogecoin is going to go up to $1, and as soon as he mentioned that, never really um, went to $1, and then dropped significantly. So the concept of risk management really goes beyond the politics or Saturday Night Live or show or one person. It really goes into the fundamentals of your trade plan. If you're in the long term, in terms of fundamentals, you think, oh, this is the growth, this is the projection and everything, and that's a different story. But if you say, oh, for election, that's just gambling. Just go to Polymarket or Interactive Brokers Forecaster, just go gamble. It's probably have a better chance, 50-50 at least, to do that. That's my opinion. But just buying because you think somebody's getting elected, I think it's a very bad decision. Of course, you need to really. That is my opinion, but my opinion isn't really worth much in the market. I might be super wrong.
It's a very interesting
And
concept. The buy the rumor, sell the news effect. Same like in the
yeah, I
Russia
was.
Ukraine. I remember yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I remember that the day that attack happened, like February 24th, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
A
what
couple of years
happened? Do
ago,
you
like
remember?
yeah, like markets went down on all the time down, like for 1 or 2 weeks straight, because in the anticipation of a potential war between Russia and Ukraine. And then the war started. Actually, like Russia invaded Ukraine, and then the market just went up for 3 days straight.
Crazy, like gap down, and then brrr, squeeze like without any pullback. Brrr. Like it was crazy. Like I remember that. What was the date? Let's find it. Spy. What was the day that they attacked? February 24,
Yeah,
2022. Yeah.
yeah, February
It's fun to
2022.
watch. Find it. February 20. Here. So see. February 2022. Here. This is the day, I think. Oh, no. Oh, February 20. Why am I not finding it? Oh, here. This is the day. 20. Yeah, and the 24th. This candlestick is super crazy. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Some of you probably can. There's my epic pen. So this is the day. So obviously, as you know, as you said, the market was really going down in the last few weeks, and then the day that happened, market gap down, SPY opened at 410, and then a squeeze like a boss, all the way to 427. Next day as well, for a couple of days went higher. Just unbelievable. So yeah, see, got to be super careful on that kind of things. All right. So
Yeah,
here's the situation on my account. I'm still actually red. So this I have NVIDIA position, and still I have 2,000 shares of NVIDIA, and I had a very, very bad loss. I had a very bad loss on Microsoft on the long and on the short. I made some back on the NVIDIA, so I'm still down, like probably 10 grand. I had a chance to sell more on Microsoft on that pop, but I didn't use it, so I kind of got messed up.
yeah. So SPY went down for another move.
See what DJT is doing. DJT is super crazy, huh? What are those halts? VCNX is getting halted. That's a penny stock. GC, Microsoft looks like it wants to go down. Up 20%. Did you do break of half the day on Carvana, John? So let's see. What do we have here? Nice, Karanjit. Karanjit, congratulations for your trade in the chat room on NVIDIA. It's super nice. Microsoft is going down. So Lenny, you didn't trade much, huh?
No. I'm really kind of a little bit of a perfectionist with my entries, but today I didn't find anything really perfect. NVIDIA had some moments, but it was also, I felt, for example, might have been a short possible around 957, but also felt it was a little bit bottoming before. So no, I didn't trade too much. But
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
there was some volatility. The MBLY that you mentioned at the beginning, very strong opening, and then it sold out very hard.
Yeah. So somebody's asking, how do you enter an exit? I usually go all in into my position, or maybe I'm adding, like NVIDIA, for example. I went all in, and then I partialed in 10%. I was thinking of adding on the NVIDIA more on the way down. I kind of hesitated that. I wasn't really expecting such a big drop. So, but usually it's good to add when the trade goes into your direction. Microsoft is a better example. So on Microsoft, Microsoft is a mess, but generally, if you see my screen right now, so people in the chat room can see my screen, not on live YouTube. So I went long, and then popped up above this moving average. I added more, and I started partialing 10%, 10%, 10%. That's how I trade. Generally, it's a good idea to add to your winning position. It's a very bad idea to add to your losing position.
Yeah. You don't really want to add in if the price action goes against you. That's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly.
You can add, but only if the price moves with you. So let's see if the SPY is starting to recover now. If the buying brigade comes in, or if it's just short lasted.
Yeah, it's popping up. NVIDIA is totally back. I still have NVIDIA in my account, in my short. It's going back to VWAP. I don't know if I want to add it or not. It looks like the move is kind of done. Shall we buy AMD for long AMD? Possibly. Again, the problem with buying AMD is not having a good risk to reward. Risk to reward is super important. So today also, guys, remember one of the really, really powerful tools that we have is called Bookmap. And Bookmap is essentially a historical level tool and shows the pools of liquidity around. So today, by looking at, big ask and big bid, sometimes you can predict the movements of, breaking up or breaking down, because price usually goes toward the pools of liquidity. One of the traders that we have, native of mine, lives in Colorado. He's been actually learning Bookmap really well, trading with them. I think he's done a couple of competition with Bookmap and won a couple of really good competition award with that. So he's going to come and talk about the Bookmap, what's Bookmap, how to use it, and I think he has a bunch of webinars also in our education center as well. I personally don't use it, but I know Brian is using it. I know Pierre is using it. I know a couple of our traders are using it to see the pools of liquidity, to predict this, scalping and momentum intraday. I think it's a very powerful tool, and I'm actually interested to check it out. The reason that I'm not using it is because I just don't have enough screen. I do not have enough screen. Maybe I should buy another 3 screen to add more on that. So Nathan is coming, and so we're gonna learn from him. And I appreciate the 451 likes that we got, because again, one of the things that I really like to have is our channel to become a bit more and more promoted to people who are interested in trading. Because I think, in my opinion, again, I can't really I'm very biased, but I think we have one of the best channels in terms of live trading and education that comes out of it. We are small compared to some of the big channels, but I think the quality content and the education that we do is amazing, and we deserve a little bit of have more attention. Like, it kind of bothers me. I go and see some channels that they're not adding as much as value, but they're better at production and better at marketing. They have much more viewers and followers. So that these likes really support, and I appreciate that. I know I'm kind of begging, and I know it could be annoying, but I really appreciate the support. So
I really like
Tesla,
the
what
variety. The variety.
sorry,
Go ahead.
what? Go,
I
go,
really
go.
like the variety, like at Bearable Traders. The variety of traders,
Yeah.
the variety of different styles.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Like,
really
if you
like
go
it.
to our education center, we have 17 strategies that we are short videos about 17 different strategies. A lot of them are similar. A lot of them are essentially the same thing, but people see the patterns and see the trade book differently. And we have this 17 different strategy, and we have way more. I don't think Paris has done anything yet, and Thor is very difficult to get Thor to create one, these short ones. So having these different strategies is super, shows that how the varieties. One thing that we don't touch is these penny stocks, because I really don't believe in that. I know it's super attractive for a lot of people who just want to trade these penny stocks, but I personally think that's a recipe for disaster. And if I want to give you this service one day, maybe we push you toward trading these penny stocks. I started with penny stocks. We all have done it, but it's just not doesn't work, man. Stay away from these penny stocks. So yeah, thanks for supporting. Thanks for all the likes. I really appreciate that. And let's see again. This week, super interesting. It's super volatile. So many stocks, but I lost this week. I'm red, and that is not cool.
Sometimes if there's like so much happening, we also get some FOMO. We jump in a little bit too fast. But and sometimes days where there's not seem to be happening so much, and then there's beautiful trends happening.
It's always happening. It's always happening for me. Like whenever the days that I know it's gonna be an amazing day, I just mess up. Like that's that means that's setting expectation. Whenever you're having too much of expectation, you come and you mess up. You have to take the day as it comes. Like when you say, "Oh, today's a great day. I'm gonna make so much money," and then you just get chopped off left and right, and having this bias.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me, Andrew?
Yes, I can, Nate. How are you, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
Nate is.
Here, I'll share
I'm
my
good.
screen.
Nate was one of the guys who actually pushed me to buy a Lamborghini. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but now I wanna teach you how to drive it. So
Yeah, calm, definitely. Calm, because I don't use it at all. Like, I don't have any destination to go. Just living downtown. I work in the home from home, and I need to go and do something with it for such an expensive car. But yeah, it was all your fault, man.
well, no, I'm
So-
good. I just it's like I told you. I've told you it's a luxury item and something. I mean, it's like you want to go traveling for a while and get away, but this is kind of like your getaway when you come back to Vancouver. So enjoy it a little bit. It's a luxury item, and I just want to show you how to drive it and really get the most out of it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you said it. I remember that you sent me and I said, Andrew, just don't say that waste of money, waste of money. So it's luxury item, enjoy it, you deserve it. And you're right, like a Rolex watch, for example. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
get the watch from a time from anywhere, but it's just a luxury item, and you shouldn't have this mentality that, oh, it's expensive. Why did I do that? Like, it's a luxury item, just enjoy it. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. I mean,
advice.
maybe you don't have it for that long. Maybe you're like, well, this was fun for a little while, and now I'm ready to move on to something else. And it's just kind of one of those luxury items that I want you to enjoy, because it can be fun and it can be an experience. And then if it's still a waste and you just don't ever do it again, then you did it one time and you could say, I've already done that. I don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Me though,
No,
I'm a
it's a good
car
idea.
guy, and my
What do you
truck is my
drive?
baby. I've got
What do you,
a 2017 Silverado, but it's supercharged, it's canned, it's long tube headers. It has almost more rear wheel horsepower than your car does total,
what is it?
and
I don't
she's
know what it is,
fast.
and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. What was the car?
It's a 2017 Silverado, but it's the year that they
Silverado.
put the Corvette engines into the Silverados, where you could get a truck without all the options and still get the Corvette engine and transmission. So it's a I built it into a super truck, but man, those Uruses, those things they're nice. They're a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely like when you like like the exhaust. You just go into the street, like the exhaust, like going that.
Yeah, oh yeah,
All right,
that's me.
Microsoft is getting down.
Copy.
So enough of car because I don't think people is the channel. What do you
Um,
see in Microsoft? How's the bookmap of Microsoft? Teach us about bookmap.
Yeah, I was hoping I could get this. I was hoping I could get this partial. I'm long AMD and Apple right now. I was waiting to 229. I was hoping I could get this partial while I'm on with you, but let me bring up Microsoft.
So one thing that I just want to mention that I see that you are nice on YouTube, but in the chat room you're a little bit blurry. For me on
Okay,
YouTube, like friends, what's happening?
it may be
Sorry,
something I'm
press the wrong
doing.
button. Yeah, we're just having some tech issues in the chat room, but the YouTube feed is clean. So if people want a clean feed, they want to watch Nathan that way, best go to YouTube. It's clean there. We've just been having issues in the BBT chat room lately.
Yeah, all right. So I stopped actually maybe it's the servers in the chat room. So I stopped my webcam, and then yeah, go Nathan. I'm actually watching you from YouTube because it's pretty clean.
Well, it looks like what's Microsoft ATR? It's about to get right to its ATR. It's 50 cents away. The market looks like it's trying to buy up a little bit from right here, and that would help if it was going to reverse and turn back from here. But I don't know. This is a pretty bearish book. We've got a lot of orders right here that you can see with the nodes over here with the size, and we don't have that to really match what we have to the downside until 415. So a lot easier to go here and fill these orders than to try to get up here without a good ladder with some incentive. But if the market can hold here and push back up, because I'll throw the NQ book map up. So on NQ, which is one that I look at a lot when I'm trading tech stocks, we're definitely building a ladder higher and getting some orders up here, but we still have this order right here. And even around here, a friend of mine in one of my trading groups, he was mentioning this area right around here, the 20,075, 20,079 area, with looks like a lot of potential to kind of come down here if we were looking to go even lower on the whole market. So, but yeah, it looks like it's just going to be stuck down here, even though it's getting towards its full ATR. It's looking pretty bearish at the moment on Microsoft. Yeah, 405 would kind of be an area I would look and check the cans if we've got a can down in that area. Let's see, maybe the 5 and see if it'll bring them in. Oh, we don't even have S4 all the way till down here. We have S3 a little bit before, but it's definitely looking a little rough for Microsoft. Sorry, Brent, I can't see the chat room. Is there any questions or anything? If anybody has any questions, you want to point them out too.
Yeah, sure. Chat, if you have any questions, please send it to us, whether you're on YouTube or the BBT chat room. I know the BBT chat room is having some issues with the video, so if you want a cleaner feed, just go to the YouTube channel, and it's a lot better there. Okay, here's a question from Dracula7. What type of stop are you using?
What type of stop?
That's
So
all I got.
for I just do so I have my little I mirror my trades. I take trades with options, just sans stocks. And so I mirror my trades on my DOS sim account so that I have that data. It's when you try to put in the data for options trades, it can be, it doesn't quite show everything that I would like to see for how far the stock went for me, how far the stock went against me, and using those numbers and using it for my trade management. But I click in here and I don't have a good hotkey that will set the hard stop at 50 cents for me. So I usually go get in the trade and then I'll keep an eye on my stop level. So as I got in here, I knew that this was around 227.80 was about the area I was going to stop out, because that would be the low a day. So that would be the area I would want to stop out at. And then I get in and I watch. I just watch up a book map. If it even came down to try to break the low day, I would watch to see if I'm getting the absorption that I want off of it. And after I got everything that I wanted to see, then it starts to move for me a little bit. I just start to throw my stop in down. Hold on. Clear. Well, now it's not going to go on there, is it? There it is. And then I'll move it up to right at or just under low a day. And just do it like that. And now all I'm doing is I'm watching for my partial here at 229. And that's because I've got ordered waiting there. I didn't take it early. I thought about taking it at VWAP here. It's usually a good spot, but I really liked how this order here was building at the time. As we came up closer to it and we tested VWAP, we still had this order. We still had more orders coming on. And I felt like there was a good intention to try to get here to this 229, take that partial, set my stop to break even, and then I can kind of move on, look for other trades, or just sit here and try to manage the trade without having a whole lot of stress left.
Okay, got another question for you. Can Bookmap be used on other platforms?
So are they?
Yeah.
So the one platform that does have Bookmap that you can get and not pay for the full subscription for the full software is with TOS, Thinkorswim, through Schwab. And for like $40 or $50 a month, you can get pretty much everything you need to start getting into Bookmap. The full software does have a lot of extra add-ons that the Schwab and Thinkorswim would not have. Some of these things you wouldn't be able to have access to, like Market Pulse, which I love. The pace of tape imbalance and volume pressure imbalance are something I try to have up whenever I'm looking for an entry, when I'm looking for a partial, when I'm looking to add into a trade. So, these algorithms here are definitely something I would want to have. But if you're wanting to just start trading and looking to see if Bookmap's right for you, and you can understand everything and add it and it be beneficial, then the Thinkorswim's version is available. And that's more than enough to get into Bookmap to start.
Great. Got another question for you. So there's many extra plugins you can get for Bookmap. Do you have any recommendations for people, whether they're new to it or maybe they, some suggestions for people who've used it for a long time as well?
There's a number of free ones if you have the full software. I believe like the absorption indicator's free. I don't use it a whole lot, but this one right here, the Trader Map Lite for futures, that one's a free add-on that you can put on there, and it really helps clear up the futures book a little bit. There's a bracketing algorithm, this thing. If you get close to price action, there's an algorithm that follows price action. This bracket right here and this bracket right here. These are orders that are just on the book just to try to basically mask the entire order book for traders, especially for Bookmap. It seems like someone was a little upset that we were getting more information about the orders on the book and the intention of the market. And so we have an algorithm that brackets price action now to try to mask some of these orders you need to look for by looking back on the book. So that Trader Map Lite, it helps clear this up quite a bit. I do use it sometimes I don't, but this is great to help clear up the book for the futures. But the Market Pulse algorithm that's available separately now, this one is absolutely worth it. Like this, yeah, I love this algorithm. The Market Pulse, the pace of tape and the volume pressure imbalances, those are the two that I love to watch, and I love to have those up.
Great. Let's do another one. Does Bookmap show hidden orders?
So if I'm understanding that you're asking about if it shows orders different from what the level 2 shows here, then yes. I mean, I have my level 2 to try to see as many as I can and orders on here. Like this is about the best I can get. It's 30 to almost $1. And if we zoom in here, let's see where we at, about 434. We go and try to get $1 in each way. I mean, you can see some of these orders way off on here, but they don't quite highlight out quite as well as they do. So we got this order 75, it's showing 300. Well, it's actually 37,000. So not 3,500. It's 37,000. And that's the order we have up there. It stands out a lot more here versus, trying to look down the level 2 and then seeing the double digit numbers when, sometimes these can be 9, they can be 8, they're surrounded by ones, and it can be hard to make it out. Where here I have a nice clean bar that I can see, but here I don't have it. I don't have that order that really stands out at me like I should have.
So how has Bookmap changed how you trade, essentially?
Like a lot of the other traders that I emulate, Andrew, Paris, and even Thor before he started to get into Bookmap, and Avi, my trading buddy, they can read this level 2, and they don't need Bookmap, and they have their level 2, and they have their time and sales, and they have their chart, and they're able to read absorption. They're able to read the order book and see things that I just was not able to see. I really struggled to trade like this with, both sides kind of jumping up and down, and then the spreads changing, and trying to pay attention to the tape and try to look on the chart to match all of those things up. And for me, it was just this was the problem. Like I had this down, I could read this, I had the chart down, I could read the chart, but this was a problem for me. And then once Thor got into Bookmap, I would just watch him, trade on there and talk about what it was and what it shows. And then I was like, I think that's what I need. I'm a visual learner. I like to see things, and that's what I need. And I started getting Bookmap. I started getting into it, and it like literally changed my trading. I was able to see what everybody else was seeing, and then I was able to apply it to this visual reference that, Paris can remember back here, like this morning, that we had a buyer come up and try to hold up price action. And then as we come back down, like later in the day during here, he still can remember that same price. I couldn't do that. I needed something to show me what had happened previously that I can just look at and start to understand swing highs and swing lows and pullbacks and bounces off moving averages, and then playing cam levels and looking for reversals. And I was able to start to see all of that stuff here visually. And I was able to look back and see what had happened before, and look at price action and look at swing highs and swing lows, and then just start applying that to the trading everybody else was doing here.
Great. Just want to remind everybody in the BBT chat room, we're just having some kind of issue with our connection there. Not quite sure what it is, but on YouTube, it's very clean. So if you want to watch a clean feed, just go to your YouTube channel and watch the video there. All right, let's do a few more questions. Well, I got one from Phil, actually. Would love to hear you, Nathan, to talk more about the absorption indicator.
So one thing from Paris's course, tape reading course here at BBT, was watching him and understanding what he's seeing when he's trading. And something that he's seeing is, around these important moving averages, like the 50 SMA on the 1 minute, or the 90 MA on the 5, and VWAP we have here. When this comes up to this level, he's looking for a specific type of reaction, and it's called absorption. So as we come up into this level here, as we bounced off VWAP, which is something Andrew uses to trade, and it's something people watch on the world, is there's going to be liquidity there's going to be people trading off of VWAP. There's going to be algorithms trading off of VWAP. So there's going to be liquidity. It's not showing up on the book. There's going to be some liquidity around this area. And here, maybe NVIDIA's better, but we've kind of passed some of these moving averages. And the absorption indicator will give you a little bit more information on the chart. If it'll show up this time, let me see. There we go. This is why this one, I don't have any settings for this to get some of all this off. Let's do 1,000. Does that help? No, let's do 5,000. Because you don't want to get too much information on your chart, then it's hard to decipher. Each stock, you can go in and actually select an amount that you want to show up. And what we have here, the VWAP, as we come up in, we start to see some liquidity coming in here off of the ask, that these 10,000 shares were absorbed right off this area. That's an area where we find VWAP, where we find the 1 minute 50 SMA. And as we're coming down and even testing more moving averages as we're coming up in those areas, we find that absorption. So I can tell here that this area, as we were coming into it, has a seller or an algorithm or some moving average that it may be following, that we're testing there and we're absorbing, and then we're coming back and going lower. And then here's about the first time we get some absorption on the buy side, but we're still moving lower. I would want to see coming back up, especially as we're coming down, close to my stop, I would want to see more here on the bottom, more green of this absorption, that we have a level or a buyer or something being active right around this area. I want to see less of this as we start to move back and retest these highs and this liquidity at these levels. I definitely want to see, I would want to see less of this coming on the sell side. Would be the absorbing. But absorption, it's I just go in, let's see if in bid some moving averages. So NVIDIA's right here. We've got 3 moving averages off the one, 9 EMA, 20 EMA, 50 SMA. We can see I don't have my biggest orders right here around this 133.90 instead of 134. So this looks like some resistance. And right in that area, we have all 3 of these moving averages. So I'm gonna expect to see some absorption here. I'm looking for reaction off of this moving average to be like a finger. So the moving average would come in as price touched it, it would move back and then push it down. And I'm looking for that reaction of red selling, like right what we're getting here. This would be absorption right here into the moving average, and that's the push down. That's the finger is coming down to try to push price action. And then since I'm long here, I definitely want to see, I want to see this 9 and 20 cross. I want to see us get it back above the 50. And then on that side, I want to see the push up, that we're starting to change the trend. We're starting to clear some of these moving averages and get through this resting liquidity here that we have, Adam. So then we can start to gain support to that and create a new trend to the upside. You know, we tried to do it here, couldn't break past VWAP, just like on Apple. So definitely got some absorption there. A nice little head and shoulders pattern here, broke back lower, and retesting these swing lows, looking to hold.
Great. Let's do one more question.
I just wanted to see if this will, we can go ahead, but I was wanting to see if this will show that push off of there.
Yeah, for sure.
That I like to look for. Yeah, I might have missed it. What's the next question?
Okay. Let's go to the BBT chat room. Here we go. So sometimes you see CVD green with large volume difference, but price is not moving up. Why is that? And what is really the key focus? Oh, what is really key to focus on? Sorry.
It would, I would say if, and there was a stock yesterday I went over in the Bookmap class and we had talked about it. I think it was even Google or Microsoft, because they had really dropped down after their earnings the prior day. Like, this is good. This is red. So these would be the delta of the buying and selling within this small time frame. That's how we get those bubbles. They're just the difference of buy and sells here. So we're moving down and selling. Nice big red bubbles, popping back up. You know, our green bubbles quite aren't matching. And then as we go down, breaking lows, coming back, retesting levels, not a lot of buying. This is good price action or movement down. If these were more, if some of these were green, and we're moving down and we're seeing that there is more buying at these levels, I see that a lot when the overall market is just headed down and you have low R-vol on a stock, and so you can't get enough volume to really push higher, and the book is bullish and it looks like it wants to go. But if you see this, just leave it alone. I mean, if this is all green and a lot of green, and our CVD for the overall day is green, and even our short-term CVDs we're starting to get green, I would just leave it alone. It's not respecting what's going on with the price action. It may look like it may be following the market. There may be something else going on with it. People could just be stopping out, but it's not giving you what you need to see in order to trade it. Then just leave it alone. That would be my recommendation. Move on to something else.
Okay, amazing. I think we can wrap it up here. anything what's your last word? Also, do you have a webinar coming up?
Next, every Wednesday in the webinar room at 12 p.m. Eastern, we get together and just a lot of this about Bookmap and how I use it. I've just used it for so long. I've watched recordings of my trades. Like a lot of the stuff is I just know it kind of in my head, and I know what I like to see, and I know I just see it and know it. And so I've really the group's been great. Everybody that's been coming of just putting in questions, and I just try to go down the line. I try to answer questions, and I try to have one or two topics for the day for everybody of things we can get to. I try to show a lot of recordings. I try to show a lot of live, so people can see it on their screen, not just watching it on mine. They can see it on their screen and see what it looks like on their screen. And this next week, we're going to be talking about a lot about absorption. And I'm going to try to find some live trades, try to take some sim entries on some live trades, because a lot of people were asking about how I enter, like what's my requirement for entering, on off of a cam or on a cam trade. And we're going to be going over that. We're going to be going over reading absorption. Like this will be some absorption right here if we hit 3. We'll see a big red bubble and explosion through. But what I would like to see as we come down in here to this level, I want to see some green on the tape, and I want to see some green bubbles here to show that we're trying to pick up a buyer here, and we absorbed this and we didn't blast through it down to the next order. So we'll be talking a lot about that and just answering questions. I generally try to stay as long as everybody needs me. It sometimes ends up being a couple hours. So if you've got questions, that's the time to ask them. And if I don't know the answer, then I'll get the answer for you. So I'll be, come on in, join us. It's fun.
Great. Thank you so much. Cheers. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, guys.